yeah, but R9 was more available than what Hazard was, wasn't
Yeah, but he was more available, but he had a constant weight issue, which
he?
plagued
Yeah,
him at Madrid. So he looked like he was playing pub football in a Madrid shirt. So if I was gonna look at how Hazard plays, for example, in Belgium,
yeah,
for Belgium, kills it. For Chelsea, killed it. He carried Chelsea for a very long period of time.
yeah.
When he went to Madrid, didn't work out for him. So I would say if I was going to look at his career and be like, okay, I know that he peaked at Chelsea because those were the periods of times he was the best for Belgium and the best for Chelsea.
Yeah.
If I was going to look at Salah, I'm going to be like, okay, he came to Chelsea, he did all right. There wasn't space in the squad for him at Chelsea. He went away, ended up eventually at Roma after I think Alaves or something,
Roma,
whatever switched
Fiorentina,
to,
yeah.
yeah. And so when he was there and he was playing with Eden Dzeko, I think his name is, he
Mm.
was good. He was really good. He had good numbers in the Italian league for assists and goals. When he came to Liverpool, that just exploded in the system. It just all clicked and worked well. But if I was
Yeah.
going to take his career as a whole, he's been consistent basically since he left Chelsea.
But
And
would
that's
you say that? So what would you say that he's had a better career than Hazard?
numbers wise, yes. In terms of like just that. Um,
Mhm.
how many Premier Leagues has Hazard got?
I believe Hazard might have. Let me check for you now. I'll have a quick check. Uh,
I
so
know it's
Hazard has won. He's won two
two,
two Premier Leagues.
two Premier Leagues and one
Just
Champions
to,
League.
to he's won two Premier Leagues. Yeah, one Champions League
Okay, okay.
and
So,
and one Europa.
all right. So looking at the trophies one, I'm
Mm.
not going to separate them that much because both of them were
Similar,
highly
yeah,
influential. They were highly influential to the both of the teams. A lot of people go too far into trophies. I like to
yeah.
look at the effect that they had on the team as well, especially
Mm.
the moments, which is why Kevin De Bruyne needs a final. He
Yeah,
needs a final performance. Henry did as well, to be fair.
he does. He does.
Um,
I agree.
so if I'm looking at the two of them, I would say that Salah has been better. Um, Belgium reached the final. Egypt reached finals, didn't win. I mean, there's not much to toss up in terms of the success or the impact they've had on the squad. I would
Mm.
say that Salah was in a more settled situation for
Mm.
longer, especially when you look at Chelsea, they had massive dips, massive dips when they had managerial changes. Well, just before managerial changes. But
Mm.
I don't think he's ever been in a situation where I don't think he shouldn't have done better, or like Chelsea shouldn't have done better. I think Salah's always been in a position where they've done well. They've had one or two off seasons, but the expectations has always stayed the same. So I think they've had a fairly equal career. But in terms of the stats, I put Salah ahead on the stats. I know that's like a numbers merchant, but even
Yeah,
though I love the techie side of the game, I love
yeah.
the step overs. I love to see a player glide past somebody. My favorite player is R9. So I like that and the goals.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You
I
know, you,
would
you know,
say
you know, you know
Salah.
what, you know what though, yeah. You know what it is, yeah. As I say, a lot of these things are subjective because
Yeah,
like even with the Messi and Ronaldo. So I'm Messi all day long, but a lot of people will tell you, it's very subjective because it depends what kind of criteria you're going with. I
yeah,
think the way that I'd explain it like this is that football's an entertainment. Yeah, obviously it's become more of a business now,
yeah,
but notoriously it's an entertainment game. Yeah, and I look at the players like Ronaldinho, Messi, and R9. When I used to watch them, they used to get me excited watching football. You know, and that's how I can kind of look at it. And if I look at someone like Salah, for argument's sake, yeah, Salah's a volume merchant in the sense of, yeah, he'll get numbers, but he's not someone that I watch and think this guy's an unbelievable dribbler. You know,
Yeah,
he's
but he has done that. He doesn't do it as consistent,
he
especially last season.
yeah,
With
yeah, you're right. He has done that. Yeah. But if you compare his close control and his ball manipulation and stuff like that to a Hazard, it's night and day. You know what I mean? And that's how I kind of view players. It's like all the players that I rate, name like Salah's not better than Neymar for me. Nowhere near Neymar. You know, because it's how these guys make me feel when I watch football.
yeah,
And
but if I'm watching, I get what you're saying, but if I'm watching like a
yeah,
Neymar,
yeah,
I'm watching someone who can do flicks and tricks. Now, for me, when I'm
end
watching
products still.
football,
He had end products. Come on,
yeah,
he had
but
end products.
if I was gonna compare their end products, and
Yeah,
I would say this: Neymar is more as a far more consistent dribbler. Salah's a far more effective player. Now, have I seen Salah drop defenses on the floor? Not one defender, I mean defenses. He's done it to
yeah,
Wolves a couple of times. He's done it to
mm,
Man City. He's done it to Tottenham. He's done it at the top level. He's banged against Roma, banged in the Champions League. He's done it at
yeah,
all levels against top sides. So it's
yeah.
hard for me to then turn around and go, he can't dribble when I know he can. His stats for dribbling have dropped off severely.
Mm.
Would I say he's as good as Hazard or someone like that? No. Would I say he's better than a Coutinho? I would say yes. His close control, especially.
Well, but then continue.
Yeah, yeah. Coutinho is more like an old school Brazilian when he would just shift it past you, kind of like an Iniesta used to do. And then,
Oh, I don't know about
and he
that, man.
was
I think when Coutinho was in his peak, man, he another one is unplayable for me.
yeah,
Coutinho.
yeah. But then with him, like all the fans used to call him like a key master. He's a magician, a little magician. So
Mm,
he's got like skills in terms of carrying the ball, but nowhere is nothing like a Neymar. He was nothing like a Hazard. He was
yeah,
very different type of player. His style of dribbling was a little bit closer to what a Salah is, which is stop start,
yeah.
shimmying, shifting your body weight, and then moving on the ball. I
Mm,
personally think Salah is probably like in the past 20 years, probably the most underrated Premier League player that has been playing at the top.
mm. I think it's fair to say with Salah, in terms of his consistency, there's no denying that, you know. And obviously, football is about consistency,
Yeah.
and he's probably been one of the most consistent players that has been in the Premier League. And I think props to him for doing that. You know, he always turns up every season, and he's always getting a certain amount of goals depending on what Liverpool team they have out, which obviously again is credit to him. I think just personally for me, for what I like watching football as,
Yeah.
he don't really do it for me, Salah. You know, I would like, you know, I don't obviously I think he's more effective than Luis Diaz. But I think I'd more prefer watching Luis Diaz than watching Salah because I think Salah's very I find him very scruffy with the ball, you know, and it works for him in this Liverpool system because Liverpool is a very chaotic team in the way they play. But I think now under on a slot, I think they might play a different way in terms because
Only
I think.
slightly. Only slightly.
But the thing
Because
is, I think the players they've got, yeah, I don't see it being as, you know, obviously the Gagan press as much often. I can't see it. I think he might want to adopt a different style. And a lot of
yeah,
it would do to with will come down to do with who he's gonna buy if they buy anyone. You
I
know?
think for me, this I don't know what the squad's going to look like
Yeah.
from the start of the season, and I don't know the setup. I know that Slot has played 4-3-3 and 4-2-1, whatever it is, 4-3-1, whatever it is. I've
Mm,
seen him do both and tend, for example, when he in his pressing style, you'll
yeah.
have the striker and then you'll have the 10 press the centre backs. You'll have the wide forwards drop back, cover spaces, and then press. So
Mm,
they still have that high press. Team still has that. But I think with top style of football, it was all about transition. Everything was transition to
yeah.
find space and transition and overloads, basically, just to find space. And I think because you had Bobby Firmino and you had Mane, and then you had Salah, it became a toss-up for who was everyone's favorite player. So at one point in time,
Bobby Firmino was the key.
Was mine, because I used to see the touches, that goal against Newcastle that Salah scored. I'm never gonna forget that assist from Bobby Firmino when he just flicks it with the. I'm gonna have to get you a clip.
Yes. I've seen that.
That
Yes,
for me, like,
yeah.
I love that side of football, but
Yeah.
I am not gonna enjoy it anywhere near as much. Salah doesn't put that in the back of the net.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a mix of both. Like,
But sorry, just quickly. But this is the
on.
thing, yeah. People would, if you just say about the three of them,
Yeah.
Bobby Firmino's name will come last because people just remember numbers.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. This is why someone like Bobby Firmino, you only respect what he did when he's gone.
That's true. And I think what people don't remember when it comes to numbers about Firmino was clutch.
Yeah.
I remember I think it was the semi-final or something like that in the World Club Cup. And I was watching it and I was like, why aren't we tearing this team apart?
Yeah.
Firmino comes on, Trent in a position where I think a lot of people don't understand how good he is. With his creativity, was on the edge of the box. It's not a real cross. It kind of like dinks the ball in. Firmino runs across, tucks it in, goal. Those moments for me when it comes to Firmino were his biggest strong suit, because as much as I love watching the skill, I like the songs. I like going. I'll give you an example. 2005. We'll know what I'm going to talk about. Champions League final. I used to remember once we won. Yeah, I had to come upstairs because my family was taking the piss out of me. Yeah, I needed to calm down. I had to go upstairs for half time, and I watched half time on my little TV upstairs. And when we won, I remember just punching the air, and I broke my bed. Just punch, but that for me, that moment lives with me. The moments is what I'm going to remember.